Hi everyone, welcome again to MEQ Academy Social Emotional Learning section. I'm Chetna Singh, I'm a kids and parents life coach. The topic today is prevention of addictions in teenagers and young adults. This is a very sensitive topic that I'm going to discuss today. And this video is only for educators, teachers, and parents. The first question that arises in our mind is like, why do actually teens fall into addiction? So teenagers or young adults, college goers, often act without thinking about what might happen next. And we have seen lots of examples around that they, think irrationally. They can do things very quickly without realizing what will be the consequences of whatever they have, done or whatever decisions they have taken in their life. This happens because their brains work a bit differently than grown-ups. The part of the brain that is actually, responsible for taking a smart decision and think before we do something is not fully grown until around age 25. So this is the reason they behave irrationally, and sometimes we try to make them understand few things and they do not understand that. So this is all because of that part of that brain which has not grown fully. Well, some of the most common addictions among young generations. As I told earlier, this is a very sensitive topic to be discussed with young generation. However, as a coach, I think it must be talked about with teenagers at an early age to prevent them falling into any kind of addiction. So as a parent or teacher, we might escape from discussing these things because we are quite hesitant into, picking up these kind of topics. However, I suggest that, at an early age, when children or teenagers start understanding things, we need to discuss these kind of things. We need to tell the consequences of being addicted to anything. So here are some of the common addictions that our youth is having to these days. Alcohol, we know that this is a worldwide issue and a very prevalent issue. It can lead to alcohol dependency over time if children start taking alcohol at a very young age. Drugs, this also applies to drug also. When teenagers at an early age start taking drugs, they become addicted to it. Social media addiction, this is something, while it is not a addiction, excessive use of social media, screen, and browsing, scrolling through reels, it can lead to an addictive behaviors, and they can develop many mental health issues also. Gaming, sorry, video game addiction, known as gaming disorder, is also recognized as mental health concern, right? And pornography. So easy accessibility to explicit content online can lead to compulsive and addictive behavior. Gambling, we have seen teenagers and young adults often, they are indulged in gambling. Online and offline gambling can lead to addiction, particularly when it starts at a young age, because at a young age, they do not have good decision making capability. Shopping, compulsive buying or shopping addiction is a behavioral addiction that some youth may struggle with. Caffeine, excessive consumption of caffeinated beverages and energy drinks can lead to its dependency. So how we are talking about social emotional learning. So how social emotional learning can help to prevent addiction in teen or young adults. So we might not be aware, but addiction, drugs, and alcohol can be prevented by developing social and emotional learning competencies in children and teenagers. We often underestimate, or we often, overlook the, we can say, the power of social emotional learning, the importance of, understanding our feelings, managing our feelings, or, controlling ourselves and paying attention to what we do. This is why we do not take social emotional learning seriously. Yet, by building a strong base of self awareness, self management, motivation, thinking and building decision making capabilities, we can help young people avoid falling into addiction in the first place. So, if we start, practicing social emotional learning, if we start incorporating SEL into our education system, we can prevent teenagers and young adults to fall into, these kind of addictions. Managing our feeling in a good way really affects how happy we feel every day. So this is for everyone, not for children, but adults also. If we know how we can, manage our emotion, then we can overcome or we can navigate even from very hard or very tough emotions, right? So learning about emotion and how to handle them helps children, teenagers grow up doing healthy things which make their life better and happy. It has been shown that this also lowers the chance of kids and grown-ups having problems with alcohol, drugs, and all these kind of addictions. Our kids are growing up in a world full of technology, right? There is technology everywhere around. They do things in a new way, they think in a new way, they are different from what earlier generation was and want different things, right? Their needs and wants are different from what our needs and wants were there when we were teenagers. But one thing that is still important is helping them get better at understanding and managing their feelings. This is where teachers and parents can step in and help. So everything might have changed, but feelings, emotions, these things, love, these things never change. We are humans and we need to manage all these things. We need love. We need all these things in our life, right? So what can we do as mentors, as teachers, or as parents also? We can incorporate SEL in our curriculum, or as a parent, we can do small SEL activities with our little children or with our teenagers at home. So if you are a teacher, you can take initiative and start practicing SEL activities like emotion check-in, mindfulness breathing, self-awareness activity, kindness bucket, compassion circle, road base. There are numerous SEL activities which are very easy. So if you are a teacher and you want to bring change around you, you do not have to wait for management or government that they will incorporate a SEL in curriculum. Then only you will start doing these things, but individually also in your classroom, you can start doing these activities with your children. And believe me, it takes only 2 or 3 minutes, or maybe not more than 5 or 10 minutes it will take. So, weekly you can do these kind of activities with your students, and if regularly done, you will definitely find a change in your students. Have open conversation with your students about feelings. So talk about emotions, share your feelings, share your emotions, normalize talking about emotions. Often we have seen, boys especially, they don't talk about emotion, right? So they don't know even, how they should initiate a conversation where they should talk about their feelings, or they should, ask about the other people's feelings, right? Even when they reach a certain age, like they are 18, 19 years old or 20 years old, they do not know how to ask their parents that how do they feel, whether they are happy in what they are doing or not, whether they are satisfied with their job. They are doing everything, parents are doing everything for their children, but children do not realize all those things. They do not never ask their parents that how do you feel, are you happy in what you are doing or not. So these type of conversation are not normal in our family or in our school. Share stories and real life incidents to help them learn managing their emotions. So what you can do as a teacher, you can share your story, you can share stories from other people around, and you can also tell them real life incident that how people manage their emotion. You can tell any kind of example. Stay motivated as a mentor to be a role model in front of your students. So as a teacher, you have to be role model in everything. Like if you are talking about emotion, you need to manage your emotion. If you are talking about mindfulness, you have to be mindful in whatever you do, right? So being motivated, staying motivated is sometimes very hard. It's not easy to stay motivated every time, each day, each moment. But yes, still, if you are not motivated, you can share this thing also. If you feel demotivated somehow, you can share this thing also with your students, so that they would believe that it's okay to feel demotivated sometimes, and then how to navigate this feeling of demotivation and come back to begin your motivation again, be motivated again. So these kind of things you can do with your students. Refrain from labeling students on the basis of their performance or social status. So knowingly or unknowingly, we all are biased, and somehow we without knowing, sometimes we label students on the basis of their performance in their exams, or by their looks, or by their social status. So refrain from doing this. When you will be mindful of your thoughts, whatever you say in front of your student, you will never label any student on the basis of what he or she has done in his or her past, right? Make a connection with each child and make them feel valuable and included. So if you are taking a class of 40 to 30, 35 or 40 students in a class, so you make sure that each and every child feel valuable. Each and every child is included. You should know the name of every child. You should make them feel that, yes, they are the part of your class. So these are very small things that you can, as a teacher, you can do daily in your class and regularize all these things, incorporate SEL in curriculum. It is really very easy. So by doing these things, you can, notice the change in behavior in few months, right? Okay, so this was all for today. We are now at the end of the workshop. So we would love to chat with you. You can call us if you have any queries or you want to, give some review or any feedback. You are most welcome. You can write to us, and you can also visit our website, and please, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to our weekly SEL activity classroom. Thank you for now. Have a good day. Bye bye.